and a little earlier than yesterday. This is exciting. I'm getting my computer all set up. That is not the one. Okay. I may or may not have some little visitors today. My grandchildren are here. They are just not in my room. There we go. I did a short video yesterday before I did my live. Hello! I did not tell anybody that I was coming live, so we will see how that works for viewers today. I saw my district manager with my daughter, so we kind of combined our appointments together and had a little bit longer because well, thank you for saying hi. Wow, I have 3 visitors, 2. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Good job. I wish safety for you and everybody there, because safety first is me. The live before last, I mistakenly said that Willie Nelson had passed away, but that was not true. And I did not check that fact before I announced it on my channel, and did a short video yesterday to apologize for that. Just did a 15-second short, and today there have been 989 views of that, and I got 1 more subscriber. It's so exciting. I did check this one. Robbie Coltrane passed away today. If anybody watched the Harry Potter movies, he played Hagrid. And yeah, that is sad news, but we do have the 3 celebrity deaths that go together, so celebrities can breathe easy for a little while, in my opinion, because they generally happen in groups of 3. So the ums have started. The leaves are changing color and mostly falling, although there is a big tree that I can see just out my window. Well, out my window and out of the yard and across the street. And it has about half the leaves are green and half of them are no longer yellow. They are just clinging on for dear life, and they will eventually fall. And then the trees will look skeletal, which is always fun and a precursor to that SNOW. I don't like saying it, I don't like spelling it, because either way it's calling it to come sooner. So, and it gets very cold when that happens. Currently, my computer says we are sitting at 19 degrees Celsius. So, the Celsius part is very important when we hit around the 20-degree mark, because between 20 and 30 Fahrenheit is freezing, but in Celsius, freezing is just plain 0, which I find very easy to remember. No plus, no minus, just nothing is freezing. And when you have trouble remembering things, easy is good. So we started our meeting with the district manager, going over stuff that happened at the offices we worked at last year. And when she said the number for the office I worked at last year, I was kind of like, oh, I guess this means I'm going back there. But not necessarily. I don't know that, and I won't know that until December. And it does look like she is going to look for an office for me to run for her. But it'll be one of the temporary offices, and it'll be my first time working in a temporary office, so things will be a little different. So I am still hopeful. I might work within the city that I live in, but there are only, I think, 2 H&R Block locations in St. Albert. And my daughter will most likely be working at one of them because she worked at one as an office manager last year. And when I was asked what I was planning on doing for this year, she encouraged me to say that I would like to be an office manager. So, because she knows I can do it, because if she can do it, she thinks that I can do it. And I do have 6 years experience working with this company, so fingers crossed that, it was basically, what do I want to do, not necessarily what do I feel like I'm ready to do, because I have some loyalty issues where I would hold myself back in order to keep the staff happy at the office I was working at. So loyalty to that office manager is what I mean, basically. And I talked to her well over a month ago before we got these appointments set up for a meeting with the district manager. So I told the district manager today that I talked to my office manager about possibly moving on up. So we will see what the cards hold for this year, which is actually next year, because tax season doesn't start until after when is that? After New Year's. Our offices are generally open beginning of February. So the first time, I'm going back to a different topic. The first time I saw how many people viewed that short was last night, and it was 730 something. And it was kind of exciting. And when I did my live yesterday, I had somebody new ask what the channel was about, so I kind of did a brief explanation. And my goal is to be as interactive as possible, but I can only interact when there is interaction available. So I encourage questions. Constructive criticism is always welcome. And creative criticism too. It was one of the things that I was thinking about what to talk about one time when I was not online, and that's how it crossed my mind, was creative criticism instead of constructive criticism. So, but I definitely participate in creative speaking, creative spelling, and try to dabble in creative writing. But, life is life. So I think it was a little, I don't want to say a little chilly for the boys to jump on the trampoline, but their mommy was out with them, and they're inside now, or maybe even gone home. I don't think they've gone home, because the door didn't tell me that it detected motion, which right now could be a leaf blowing by our door. So, it's always interesting. Never a dull moment, but it's a pretty boring life still. So, I didn't find my dress shoes to go into the office in, but this dress is fairly long, and I don't think she was paying any attention to my footwear. There were no comments made about the attire we were in. My daughter was just wearing a t-shirt and non-sweatpants, and, well, other clothes as well, but that's all that was visible. And yeah, it was kind of nice. I did run into a hiccup about picking up my prescriptions because I couldn't find the sheet with the prescriptions, so called the doctor's office and they said that they would phone the pharmacy, so I've got my fingers crossed that that happened. I'm okay for 2 of the prescriptions, but the other 2 I am completely out. So I definitely need those. And yeah, I will be leaving most likely around 6 o'clock for that. And the time where I am right now is just after 4:30. So I have less than an hour and a half before I'm leaving. So that doesn't mean I'm going to be online for another hour and a half. It just means that that's how much time I have before I'm leaving. And I'm also charging my phone while... Oh wow, it's very windy out. I guess it's a good thing I didn't do this outside. That could also be why the grandchildren are no longer in the backyard. So, yeah, if I run out of things to talk about, run out of steam, whatever, before time to go, then I will end the stream, but this is not a start of a goodbye yet. Yeah, there was a Facebook notification about somebody's birthday today, so, and it's not somebody that I talk to on a regular basis, so I decided to send her a happy birthday text or a message through Facebook, and took a page out of Louis Lecca's book and wished her a happy 21st birthday, and got the laughing emoji back in response to that. So yeah, I would wish her happy birthday directly, but I don't think she's watching. So I think we will be taking at least one more trip out to the middle of nowhere, but because internet is very spotty out there, I will only be doing short videos, maximum of a minute, and posting them when I get home. So that will be interesting / fun / cold. Yeah, I will not have my purple or blue or whatever color it looks like background behind me, because I will not have a wall to lean on there. At least not one that I want to lean on, because wild animals and little critters that like to hide inside wherever they can. So just generally don't lean on walls out there. And I will try not to do all my videos from inside the vehicle. But since I don't drive, I'm actually in the passenger seat, and when I do short videos, I hold the phone the other way, and it does the reverse image. So if I wore a shirt with words on it, then they would show up backwards. So I am happy. I'm very glad that I got the meeting today out of the way and was able to take my daughter out to lunch. We went to the expensive restaurant at McDonald's, And I wanted to go to McDonald's at least once while they had the Monopoly on. And I won some free fries. And we got a few of the pieces. I think we had 3 duplicate pieces out of what we got today. And I don't know, we only took one of each out to the vehicle to put on the game board that they have in their vehicle. And I don't know how many of those were duplicate because I wasn't paying attention at that point. Excuse me for burping. I got to see both my grandchildren when we got home. The younger one was sleeping in the living room, and of course the older one was in school, so I'm opening a bottle of pop. So got to see him sleeping and be a little snuggly because he likes to snuggle when he wakes up. Sorry about blocking the camera. And then when the school child came home, it's kind of wet there. Of course, he wanted to go out back and jump on the trampoline. Hey, you know what? I think that's the first time I've coughed all day. And that was because I didn't really swallow everything in my mouth and tried to breathe. So, let's hope that's finished. Nope. Cough drop time. Doing things with one hand isn't always the easiest. Excuse me. Whew. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I think I'm almost done. Oh, excuse me. Coughing like that generally makes my eyes water. Changes the color of my face a little bit. And sometimes excuse me, and sometimes affects my talking. So extra fun. Whew. Aren't you glad things aren't contagious through the through the internet? Catch a computer virus. Whew. I don't know who sent it, but I did get something from PayPal. That was very exciting. And I got an email shortly after 4 this morning saying that it had officially gone through. So I have $5 sitting in PayPal. Oh. All right. Well, somebody's in the hallway. I think I might be getting a little visitor. when my grandson was sleeping beside me, because I sat on the piece of furniture he was sleeping on. I saw his hand over top of his blankie, and his hands look so big now. Just, it was one of those moments where you realize that they're not going to be little forever. So, and his hand isn't even half the size that it will be when he's an adult. So, life is good for now. I can almost breathe normally again. I can feel that tickle just trying to stay in my throat, but I'm trying not to let it affect me. And failing. So. Oh. Let's see, what else can we talk about? We've talked about weather. We've talked about grandchildren. I've talked about my meeting. There is somebody in the hallway wearing shoes. So, I'm not sure if it's the older or the younger grandchild, but they're debating about opening Grand's door. Let's see, when we went to McDonald's, we upsized our fries, and I got a large drink because I drink a lot when I eat, and let my daughter pick whatever size of drink she wanted because we just really wanted the game pieces. So she got her usual nuggets, and I got a McDouble, customized, and one of their new chicken sandwiches. And then when I started eating, I was not nearly as hungry as I thought I was. So I ate the McDouble there and ate the chicken sandwich sometime after we got home. So, kind of exciting because so far I've eaten more today than I have for a few days. Which isn't the best habit to be in, but I can remedy that by getting some more stuff that I know I'm allowed to eat. So. EEE is most likely not watching anymore because she likes commenting. And yeah, she lives in an area that has recently been affected by weather, so she is volunteering to help clean up, which is awesome because I happen to know how old she is, unless she lied to me, but I will take everything at face value until I find out otherwise. Knowing how old she is, that is not generally the age group that would do volunteer work or just helping after a disaster. So, I need to find a better way to sit or sit up a little higher so that I don't affect my back in just the same way as I am right now because it really hurts. So that'll get me at least another 10 minutes. Thank you for putting up with my coughing for who knows how long that was. And listening to my rambling. So, yeah, if you want to push the conversation anyway, just, see if you can be anonymous and just give me a direction to go in. So, my district manager, I finally got to ask her today if they divide Edmonton up into 2 districts, and the other district manager quit at the end of last year's tax season, so she's been or sometime after tax season. So my district manager had been doing double duty, and I had asked her today if they were able to find somebody for the other district, and they did. And she really gets along with this person, and they kind of want to bring the districts back together, because we used to do things for all of Edmonton, both before tax season and after the end of tax season. 6 years ago from now was the last time they did the whole city together, and then South Edmonton and North Edmonton decided to kind of do their own things. And this new district manager would like to bring the sides of the city back together. So that will be interesting and a little more fun, because it brings more camaraderie, more of the family feel to the business, as opposed to head-to-head combat. So I think that will be a positive thing. And it's not like the costs of things will double, because instead of having to do stuff in 2 venues, then it'll just be the 1 venue. And it will cost a little bit more, because, and by a little bit I mean less than 2 sides of the city doing their own separate thing. So the price for all of Edmonton will, in a sense, go down, because we'll have the 2 districts doing stuff together, as opposed to not together and paying for 2 venues for everything. And our after tax season kind of celebration we made it, has not happened for the past 3 tax seasons due to pandemic reasons. And we have we will still have the plexiglass available at our offices, but masks will not be mandatory. And it's very exciting, because it was about partway through tax season this year when we stopped wearing masks all the time. I would wear a mask when I was at work because I cough a lot, and that's a side effect from my prescriptions. So so I always have cough drops with me at the office, and I had them with me today for our meeting, just because if I don't have them, I'm gonna need them, and I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. I did not bring a pen, but I did not need a pen, so that was okay. I also kind of figured that after 7 years, or after working with my district manager for 6 actual tax seasons, then if I don't have a pen, then it's not going to be the end of the world. So I didn't take one, didn't need one. Everything was fine. Got to the bank, got everything done. Got everything done so far that I wanted to have done by now. And everything is good. So I'm just looking at the computer and watching my mouth talk on a delay. So when I look down like this, I'm looking at the computer. And yeah, I've got another person watching now. Yay. Hi. Always happy for questions and or comments. And yeah, if there's more, the more interaction, the longer the stream can go. And I've got just over an hour left before we're going to head to the store to pick up my prescriptions. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that they were able to phone the prescriptions in. And that would definitely be a good thing if they did, because they didn't phone me to say that they didn't. Hello, you have choir auditions tomorrow. Oh, I loved singing in choir. Good luck. So do you audition as a group, or do you audition individually? Because I haven't been in a choir that I had to audition for. I've only been in choirs that I got class credit in high school. Individual. So do you have a song prepared? So, and after, when I was in grade 12, so when I was a senior in high school, 3 songs. Wow. I wasn't actually told whether I was soprano or alto until high school. And some people knew going in, but I didn't. So the teacher had me, sing a scale. And apparently I was a little better with the higher notes, so he put me in soprano. And so every choir after that, I knew I was soprano. And when I was a senior, so grade 10 and 11, I sang with the school choir. And then I went to an all-city choir, which did rehearsals after school once a week. And in Edmonton, they had a night of music. So for grades 10 and 11, I sang with various high schools across the city, and this all-city choir that I ended up joining when I was in grade 12. So 3 years I sang at the Jubilee Auditorium in Edmonton, and it was kind of exciting, it was what it was, because that was just part of what was expected of us with being in these choirs. So the only time it was an issue was when I was in the all-city choir and not the high school choir, because they didn't really want to take people from other classes to go to these rehearsals that were all the high school choirs together. And the all-city choir did the same songs plus more songs. My mom liked it a lot when I was in the all-city choir, because there was a junior choir for junior high, and the senior choir, of course, was senior high school. And every time that my mom drove and brought me home, she would say that other choir sounded amazing. They sounded so good. And then you guys sang. Because with that little bit more experience, generally comes a little finer tuning in the sound. So it was nice to get those compliments. And of course, when you have the programs with your name in it, when I was in junior high in grade 7, I played the clarinet. And wasn't really into the high school, the junior high band scene, So I only was in the band in grade 7. And then in grades 8 and 9, I took computers instead of band. And then when I was in grade 9, they had choral music for grade 7 and 8, which kind of ruffled my feathers a little bit because the one music class that I wanted to be in, I couldn't because I was too old. And then that encouraged me a little more to go into choral in high school. And you learn a lot more Christmas carols when you do the choral music or... All right, that was a game notification from one of the game systems that I play games through. They have contests every, I don't know, week or so. And it goes from one contest to another. That one just said who won the last one and that there's a new contest going on. And yeah, fun. So, one time when I was walking my kids to school, they were asking me a lot of questions and the answer was always no. And I had a Christmas carol going through my head. So I started saying no to the tune of the Christmas carol. So that started a new tradition for us where we would know music, not K-N-O-W. We wouldn't know what the music is. We would say no instead of the actual words and then have a little guessing game to see what it was. And I knew far more Christmas carols than my children did. And so it was a lot easier for me to stump them than it was for them to stump me. And, well, when I was growing up, we were in an inner city community, and that community had, every Christmas, they would have a gathering in the community hall. And one of our newspapers would print out the words to a lot of Christmas carols. A lot of the common ones, the public domain, like 12 Days of Christmas, Little Drummer Boy, Away in a Manger, Frosty the Snowman. I think Down Through the Chimney. Just so many. It was like just as if you took a full page of the paper where you open it and there would be stuff on the front and each page and then more on the back. So, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was another one. My sister's favorite when we were growing up was Little Drummer Boy. I don't remember what my brother's favorite Christmas carol was, but mine was Away in a Manger. And so we got these every year, and that particular newspaper still did that when I was in high school, where for either one day or every day for a week, where they would put these little inserts in the paper so that you could have the words to your Christmas carols. And then if there was a place to gather and sing them, then that would be great. And if not, you'd still have them so you could know the words. And it was fun because, excuse me, when I was a child, that was a tradition where we would go, as the whole family would go, and we would sing these Christmas carols and get some little candy canes, and I don't remember if there was hot chocolate, but I do remember it was pretty close to Christmas that they did this. And when I was in junior high, we had a kind of a little grad ceremony from junior high to go to high school. And I didn't go to high school anywhere near that community hall, but that's where our grad was. And it was very nostalgic because that was where I went to play school, which is also known as pre-K. And so I went there for a few days a week for, I think, just mornings when I was 3, and then more of the week when I was 4. And then that got me ready for kindergarten, which was 5 days a week, but just half a day. And I couldn't wait to start school because my sister was in school and my brother was in school, and I got to go somewhere for the whole day and then come back. And I was just jealous when I was just being the youngest. I was just jealous because I got to do everything before I did. So, with my brother being 5 years older than me, the year that I was born would have been the year he started kindergarten. So I guess there's probably a reason I don't remember all 3 of us being at home before, for the whole day, except in the summertime. And both my siblings were born in November, and then my sister, at least, really resented the fact that I have a summer birthday, and she almost always has cold weather on her birthday. So, a couple of years ago, when my youngest grandson turned 1, we had, because it was 2020, we had a gathering in a playground that was really close to where they lived. And, restrictions were not that strict at that time, but it was, I don't think we followed what we should have followed, because we had a gathering of 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, at least 12 people. And we were all outdoors, and it was a very, it was a playground. So, we got a few pictures taken, and they did their tradition of having a helium tank, which of course had me as far away as I could be while they were inflating those rubber things. And they were having an issue with tying ribbons to the balloons. So I called my daughter over to where I was and had her bring the ribbon, and I showed her a little trick for tying that a little bit better. So they didn't lose any more balloons after that. We had, I think, at least 3 balloons go up in the air because they just weren't tied to the ribbon very well, and the ribbon stayed in the hand, but the balloon just went flying way far away. I can't listen to them being inflated, as well as anybody squeaking on them, and that would include the 1-year-old man handling the balloons, and his brother at that point was 3. So, yeah, I have a lot of balloon issues. I really don't like them popping. I am okay if they're just inflated and nobody's touching them, for the most part. But sometimes they take my attention and won't let go of my attention, so I just kind of drift back to looking at them and not wanting them to be there. But I'm not necessarily getting better, but there's a lot more people that are affected by loud noises than just, I used to plug my ears a lot for fireworks, which is, a lot of people understand that. But when they're farther away, it kind of sounds like popcorn popping. So we live across the street from a school field, a really big school field, and sometimes people will set off fireworks in the field and then kind of run away, because if people don't have a permit, then you call the RCMP on them, because St. Albert doesn't have their own police force. So so they kind of set off a few and then run away. So we don't set them off here because we have the middle of nowhere where we can set fireworks off and have it be nice and legal. So as long as there's no fire ban and we're responsible with them, we will be okay with that. So I am feeling like I'm going to start coughing again, and I don't want to have more coughing on this video. So I will say goodbye and thank you for watching. And stay safe, everyone. And we will see you possibly tomorrow. Have a safe day. Bye.